It started as a tractor and became the deadliest predator on Earth. Today, we track the complete evolution of American armor across every single era. This is the story of U.S. tanks, starting off with World War I, an early interwar. CLB-75 was less a tank and more a steel box on a farm tractor. Primitive and towering like a moving storage unit, it was one of America's first armored concepts, bulky, barely mobile, and more intimidating than it was effective. Holt Gas Electric introduced an advanced hybrid drive long before such tech became mainstream. With a gasoline engine powering electric motors, it was revolutionary but also too heavy and cumbersome to handle World War II battlefield conditions. Skeleton Tank used a bizarre but genius approach. Most of the vehicle was just iron piping built around a center chassis, designed to glide across trenches with minimal risk of getting stuck. Light but fragile, it carried more air than armor. Ford 3-ton M1918 resembled a tin can on tracks and was meant to operate like the Model T of tanks, fast, low cost, and built en masse. It was developed to rush enemy positions in swarms, but production ended when the war did. M1917 light tank borrowed heavily from France's Renault FT. A basic single-turret design, it served as the United States' first mass-produced tank and trained a generation of early American tankers well into the 1930s. Mark 8 Liberty was a collaboration beast, literally. Jointly developed with Britain, it stretched so long it straddled trenches like a centipede, but its size created massive logistical issues that made mass use unrealistic. M1921 medium tank marked a step up from light armor with the introduction of a rotating turret, setting design standards that remain fundamental today. It traded in swarm tactics for a more strategically powerful chassis. M1922 medium tank tinkered with an advanced cable-based suspension system. While the intention was to improve ride comfort over rough terrain, it ended up complicating maintenance far beyond what crews could handle. T1 light tank series came out of a period of trial and error. Though faster than its predecessors, its paper-thin armor was its downfall, fit for mobility drills but not survivability on the modern battlefield. T1 Christie M1919 turned heads with its convertible track-end wheel system. Walter Christie's fast-moving concept could fly down roads, but it was dismissed by command as too unorthodox for deployment. T2 medium tank dreamed of integrating machine guns and large-caliber cannons into a single hulking frame. But the underpowered engine and excess weight doomed it to remain a one-off experiment. Quick question for you. If you could bring one of these tanks back to life for modern combat, which one would it be, and why? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the ride through tank history, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more epic military deep dives. Interwar Period. M1930 Christie pushed suspension to the limit. With shock-absorbing wheels and unmatched off-road speed, this radical design could jump over terrain, paving the way for modern high-speed tank mobility. M1 light tank series came with a linguistic workaround, officially labeled combat cars, to sidestep interbranch disputes. Lightly armored and swift, they excelled in recon roles despite limited firepower. M2 light tank series evolved toward the structure seen in the famous Stuart series. Early iterations looked like naval warships, with multiple gun turrets, before designers opted for a more consolidated layout. T4 medium tank aimed to combine speed with medium-level firepower. Equipped with Christie's suspension, it shone on roads but turned sluggish and unreliable when confronted with groundwater or unstable soil. T7 combat car leaned into wheeled mobility. Fantastically fast on level terrain, it traded armor and off-road capability for sheer velocity, making it too specialized for general use. T2 medium tank series resembled a hedgehog covered in machine guns, pointing in every direction but lacking heavy hitting power. Still, the lessons learned refined U.S. medium tank doctrine for the future. Marmon-Harrington CTLS series persisted despite their minimal size and protection. Shipped largely to Allies, these export-ready light tanks played logistical support roles where durability took a backseat to simplicity. World War II. M3 Stuart series earned its reputation with unmatched speed and rock-solid reliability. British troops had such admiration they dubbed it "Honey," particularly for its mobility in North African desert skirmishes. MTLS-1 G14 was an oddball, one turret, two main guns. Originally built for the Dutch, this dual-barrel tank became more of a training novelty in the U.S., with few seeing real engagement. CTMS series were compact and experimental, light tanks built with exports in mind. Small crews and limited armor kept them from frontline service, but they helped support Allied operations logistically. M3 Lee Grant series looked unconventional with its turretless hull-mounted main gun, but when firepower was scarce, this tank brought the heat, vital during early skirmishes in North Africa despite its bulky frame. M4 Sherman series became the icon of Allied tank warfare. Not the biggest or toughest, it conquered through sheer quantity, mechanical simplicity, and ease of repair, an industrial juggernaut of the war. M6 Heavy Tank series was armor turned up to 11. Featuring superior firepower, it was technically the first U.S. heavy tank, but its bulk overwhelmed bridges and roads, limiting practical use. T7 Light/M7 Medium series ballooned during development. Originally planned as a light tank, it gained so much weight it had to be reclassified, only to fall behind performance expectations and get shelved. T20, T22, T23 Medium series served as the laboratory for America's future tanks. These featured compact profiles and automatic transmissions, laying the technological groundwork for Cold War-era armor. M5 Stuart series improved on its predecessors with twin Cadillac engines that offered unmatched speed. While armor tech quickly outgrew it, this nimble combatant remained a recon favorite. M22 Locust was mailed into battle, literally. Small enough for glider transport, it was designed for airborne assaults but often crumpled under enemy fire due to its ultralight armor. T14 Heavy Tank was a rare cross-Atlantic collaboration with the British aimed at brute strength. Prototype only, it lost support as modern doctrines began prioritizing mobility over armor. M24 Chaffee turned the tide for light tank relevance. With a 75 gun and excellent suspension, it redefined what small tanks could do, earning accolades late in World War II and beyond. M26 Pershing series arrived just in time to challenge German Tiger tanks. As America's first modern tank, it introduced thick armor and high-effect guns that changed the armored balance. T26 E4 Super Pershing pushed the design even further with a larger gun. The added weight threw off its balance and performance, but in terms of raw firepower, it was ahead of anything else on the battlefield. T28 T95 Super Heavy Tank was less a tank, more a mobile fortress. It had quad tracks and armor inches thick. Slow as molasses, it was a bunker breaker designed to suffer no peer in defense. T29 Heavy Tank series was conceived to take on Germany's best. Never saw action, but featured innovations in turret design that echoed in Cold War-era tank architecture. T30 Heavy Tank gave engineers the freedom to scale up. Armed with a massive 155 cannon, it prioritized raw destructive capability, perfect for busting hardened enemy fortifications. T32 Heavy Tank series took everything great about the Pershing and scaled it up. Designed to face off against high-tier threats at extreme distances, it emphasized firepower and defensive survivability. T-34 heavy tank mounted an anti-aircraft gun adapted for ground armor piercing. Meant to deliver lethal precision against enemy heavy tanks, it marked the final evolution of U.S. World War II heavy design. Early Cold War in Korea. M46 Patton series built off Pershing DNA, swapping in a stronger engine and upgraded gun. It became the mainstay U.S. tank during the Korean War and marked the start of the Patton lineage. T-41 light tank emerged as a parachute drop-capable scout that eventually spawned the Walker Bulldog. Designed to be nimble, fast, and easily delivered into remote zones, it hinted at the future of rapid deployment armor. M41 Walker Bulldog series excelled as a fast-response combat tank. Its agility, reliability, and versatile armament made it a fan favorite among crews and a staple for allied nations. T-42 medium tank had a forgettable chassis but an elite turret. Its high-performance upper design was so effective, engineers reused it for the M47 Patton, an upgrade that saved development time. M47 Patton series was stitched together under Cold War urgency. A fusion of proven and new components, it became a stopgap solution that stuffed advanced gunner optics into a battlefield-ready design. M48 Patton series reset the blueprint. Its round, turtleback, armor and reinforced hull advanced the protection game for the Vietnam War and became a symbol of 1960s armored warfare. T-54 medium series explored how to squeeze big guns into limited space. Its oscillating turret allowed smaller tank bodies to wield impressive weaponry, an idea innovative but tough to implement. T-69 medium tank continued that line with an autoloading cannon inside a bouncing turret. Efficiency and automation made it appealing, but practical field tests revealed too many flaws. T-92 light tank embodied low-profile stealth. Designed for airborne operations, it was sci-fi in appearance but ultimately cut due to cost and operational overlap with evolving roles. T-95 medium tank series pioneered advanced armor layering and smoothbore gun systems. Though it never went into service, its tech DNA was embedded into later generation battle tanks. M1 heavy tank series closed the heavy tank chapter in the U.S. playbook. A long-range cannon specialist, it was made to counter Soviet armor with brutal sharpshooting precision. T-57 heavy tank experimented with an oscillating turret cannon system that could rapidly launch heavy rounds. Mechanically ambitious, it struggled with reliability and was ultimately shelved. T-58 heavy tank took firepower to the extreme, using a 155 autoloaded cannon in a massive oscillating turret, too complex and heavy for field work, but unmatched in sheer threat level. T-110 heavy tank series attempted to downsize heavy weapons into more compact frames for tunnel transport. An engineering headache from day one, its goals proved too extreme for reality. Late Cold War in Vietnam. M60 Patton series became America's Cold War workhorse. Built to be durable, upgradable, and lethal, it served across the globe for decades, lasting many of the tanks that replaced it. M551 Sheridan series was a gamble in lightweight firepower. Welded from aluminum to save weight, it could fire both shells and guided missiles, but was infamous for being fragile, a firecracker in a soda can body. MBT-70 was an ambitious American-German collaboration, loaded with futuristic features. Hydrop pneumatic suspension, an autoloader and driver-in-the-turret setup, all revolutionary, but overwhelming in cost and complexity. XM803 aimed to salvage that ambition into something affordable. Much of the original MBT-70 vision was cut to reduce expenses, but even the trimmed-down version couldn't escape the axe. MA Starship looked straight out of sci-fi, pairing space-age tech with a 150-tomb-gun missile hybrid. Despite its innovation, the electronics frequently malfunctioned, making it more fantasy than function. M1 Abrams series changed the rules of armored combat. Outfitted with a turbine engine, composite armor, and unparalleled electronics, it introduced a new era of mobility and survivability on the modern battlefield. RDF-LT prioritized rapid deployment. Small, sleek, and tough enough to punch above its weight, it served mostly as a concept, a scout tank hybrid that could be airlifted into action zones. HIMAG was less a battle tank and more a science experiment on tracks. Designed to test high-mobility components, it contributed breakthroughs in suspension systems later used in production vehicles. Expeditionary Tank catered to marine demands for fast, flexible firepower. With a low-profile turret and light frame, it was tailored for beach assaults and rapid redeployment, though never made it past prototype. Stingray Light Tank series represented private industry ambition. Designed for export markets, it offered impressive firepower on a nimble, cost-effective chassis, allowing countries to punch above their budget class. M1 Abrams series refined the M1 with a beastly 120 smoothbore gun and upgraded armor. Capable of dominating open terrain and tank duels, it proved itself during Operation Desert Storm with stunning efficiency. Modern and current, M1A2 Abrams series brought the battle tank fully into the digital age. Integrated systems included thermal imaging, advanced targeting, and onboard networking designed to share data in real time across the battlefield. M8 Armored Gun System series looked to replace the Sheridan with flexibility in mind. It featured modular armor packages for varying mission needs, but post-Cold War downsizing crushed its production hopes. LAV 105 attempted to deliver tank firepower using a wheeled platform for rapid mobility. Though fast and lightly armored, it failed to secure funding or interest for full-scale production. Abrams TTB explored crew survivability in combat. With an unmanned turret and all crew protected within the hull, it aimed to maximize safety, but its unconventional layout was tough to adopt. M1 CATB served as a giant sandbox for tomorrow's weapons. Armed with a massive 140mm cannon and bleeding-edge systems, it pushed the envelope further than field practicality could keep up with. XM2002 Mounted Combat System embodied the shift to ultralight high-tech warfare. Developed under the Future Combat Systems program, it was fast, smart, and globally deployable, but killed off by budget overruns. Griffin II combined everything you'd want in a modern light tank: lethality, speed, and adaptability. Acting as the base for the Army's next-gen platforms, it balances power with deployability like never before. M10 Booker series fills a gap left open for years. Designed to provide direct infantry fire support, the Booker brings heavy firepower to lighter armored units, backed with cutting-edge sensors and battlefield awareness. Abrams X reimagines armored warfare with hybrid electric power, AI integration, and zero-crew exposure turrets. Lighter, quieter, and smarter, it's not just an upgrade, it's a glimpse into the future of tanks. M1E3 Abrams series redefines survivability and sustainability in a drone-dominated battle space. Stripped of bloat, designed with layered defenses, it's built to outlast both enemy fire and future threats. And that's a wrap on the full evolution of American tanks, from steel-clad tractors to high-tech war machines. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you leave a like to support the channel and subscribe so you're locked in for our next military deep dive. Got a favorite tank from the lineup, or one you think is totally underrated? Drop your pick in the comments. Let's talk tanks. Until next time, stay curious and stay sharp.